Hello. How are you guys today? Hopefully you had a good Mother's Day and you enjoyed some time with your family. Okay, let's get started on this video because I don't want it to take forever. I know I talk a lot. So here's some pictures from this week from my family. We enjoyed the outside. This is, I think, is all from 1 or 2 days. Yeah, you need a pencil and paper, and you want to title your notes writing equations. So, our objective is I can write an equation from slope-intercept given a graph of a line. And we're also going to talk about tables today as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, these notes should look familiar. If they don't, go ahead and add them to your notes. So this is the equation of slope-intercept form. That's y equals mx plus b. If you don't remember, the m stands for slope, and the b stands for y-intercept. And the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So if I have a graph, I am looking for where the line crosses, the blue line crosses the y-intercept, the y-axis. And the y-axis is the one that goes up and down. This one here. So where does it cross? It crosses at 2. What's my slope? Well, that I have to find. So let's go ahead and erase these away. And we're going to have to make a slope triangle. So I'm going to pick 2 perfect points, and a perfect point is where they cross the grid line. Generally speaking, your B is going to be a perfect point. So right there is a perfect point. And for example, right here is a perfect point because it goes through that grid that you see in the background. So now I'm going to draw my triangle. And remember, to find the slope, it's rise over run. So I'm counting my rise as 1 box, and my run between the 2 points in my slope triangle is 1, 2, 3. So my slope is going to be 1/3. Now, is it positive or negative? So if I start over here and I follow the line, my finger's going up. So it's going to be a positive 1/3, right? So you have to be able to find slope and your y-intercept. So now my equation, if I write it as, like you guys can see down here with the red, y equals mx plus b, well, I'm going to put y equals, what's my m? 1/3, x plus b, what's my b? 2. And now I've just written my equation. Let's try another. Okay, shall we start with our slope this time? So I need to find 2 perfect points. There's one right here because that crosses the line. And let's see, right here. At the coordinate point 4, 3. All right, so this is going to be a pretty big triangle. I draw a right triangle. That means that when I'm drawing the triangle, it has to have a right angle right here. So I'm looking for 2 straight lines, a vertical and a horizontal. And now we just have to count the boxes. I want my rise, so I'm going up and down over my side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 boxes here, and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes on the run. So 5 on top and 4 on the bottom. So my slope is 5/4. Let's check to see if it's positive or negative. If I start over here, my line's going up, so it's going to be positive. And now I just need to figure out, oh my gosh, Sorry guys, this is a mess here. Let me write my 4 in a proper way. All right, and now I need to find my b, which is my y-intercept. So I'm looking at this line here. Where does it cross? Right here. And if you guys can't tell because of all my markings, what's underneath there? That's a -2. So my b is -2. Now, if I were to write this, I'm just going to put y equals x. What's in front of the x? My m, so my 5/4. And then what's my y-intercept? -2. So that is my slope. My equation. Let's try another one. What do you guys notice about this one? If you notice that it goes through the same place on my y-intercept, so my b is still going to be -2, then you'd be correct. Oh my word. I know I say this every single time and I can't fix it, so I apologize. Okay, now I need to find my slope. So I need to find 2 perfect points. Where is a perfect point? It's where you can see like a little plus sign and that blue line crosses it. So this is going to be a point. Where's another one? Right here. The gray lines in the background fit perfectly on that blue one. Oh, that's not my slide. Where'd it go? There we go. So there's one. And then if you guys want, you could go down here. That's another one. But you only have to do 2. So let's say I didn't use the y-intercept and I use the 2 far points. I'm going to draw my line straight down or straight up and over. So I can draw that. That's one triangle. Or I could draw it up and over like that. Oops, not like that. Let's try that one again. Up and over. So you could have done it like this triangle or like this triangle. Either way works. Let's just use one of them though. Oh wait, now that I've drawn my triangle, I can count my boxes. My rise over my run. So my up and down over, so I'm going to do y over x. So my y, which goes up and down, is 1, 2. And what's my run? How many times am I running? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you do a big triangle like I just did, and you come up and you like skip a point, so for example, we skip that point, then you can just reduce. 2 over 8, that can be divided by 2, so I get 1 over 4. Now, there is something I need to think of. If I'm going from this side to a different color to this side and I follow my line is going down, which means that my slope is negative. So I have -1/4 here. So if I'm writing an equation, my equation is going to be y equals, what do I put instead of the m? -1/4 x. And then what do I put instead of this? Well, my -2, and that's my equation right there. Do one more. Let's start with our y-intercept, which is where it crosses this line. Where does the blue line cross this line? It looks like it's right here, which doesn't have a number, but if you can look at the numbers below, see how it goes 2 and then 4, but it skips a line here. So if we were to count the boxes, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be 5. Where it crosses is at 5. All right. Now I'm going to erase that so that we can focus on our slope. The first thing I'm going to do with slope So I'm going to find two perfect points. This 5, that was a good point right there. Let's see, I'm going to follow the line down until I find where I can cross. That's a good point. And the others, that's a good point. So we can do any of those. Let's draw our slope triangle. So I'm going to connect the two dots by using a right triangle, which means it has to have a 90 degrees. So if I go over and down, I've just created a right triangle right there. And now I need to find my slope, which is y over x, the change of y over the change of x. So in this case, I have my rise. I'm going up and down 1, 2, 3 boxes. So 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes. Over my run, how many? 1, 2. 2. So how many did I go up and down? 3. And how many did I go over? 2. Now I need to make sure that my line is positive or negative. So if I start over here and I'm going this way and my line goes down, so my answer is going to be negative. Negative 3 over 2. So my equation is y equals, so notice how I'm bringing my y, my equals up. Now instead of m, I'm using negative 3 half, negative 3 over 2. Okay, let's try that one again because it's just not liking me right now. Negative 3 over 2 x plus 5 is my equation. So I'm really just taking what I found and putting it in to this format. This right here. So instead of m, even if you guys want to write this out and then go back and erase the m and put in your answer, you can do that. Okay, so you say, okay, I found slope. Now I need to replace my b. What's my b going to be? Oh, it's 5. If that helps you, do that. Okay. This one's a little different. Now we didn't really talk about it too much in the last video. So if I notice my line is positive, so I can start there, it's positive. I want to look at perfect points. I can't see really the green. So that's where it crosses. Crosses right here. And it crosses right here. So I'm going to use 2 closest ones, and I'm going to draw my triangle. And how much does it go up? 1, 2, 3, 4. Over how many? Over 1. So I can write that as just a 4. Now, where's my y-intercept? Where does it cross the y-intercept? It crosses at this point right here. And do you guys know what that is? You're right, that's the origin, which means that it crosses at 0. So our y-intercept is 0. So if I have my equation y equals mx plus b, and I want to replace my slope, then I can write 4 here. And then I want to replace my b, and I put 0 here. But if you add 0, that can cancel out. So my final equation would be y equals 4x. Okay, let's try something else. Finding slope from a table. Okay, if you guys recall, we always are talking about the change of y over the change of x, or rise over run. Rise over run. So we want to find that constant rate of change. At the beginning of the year, you guys talked about finding slope in the sense that you were figuring out if it was proportional or not. And it's always going to be constant, so you had to make sure that it was going up at the same way. So the way I like to do it is I always bring in this ratio, y over x. And with proportional stuff, you could just divide, and that would be fine. But slope isn't always just proportional. You can have lines that aren't proportional. So for example, this one here is proportional because it goes through the origin. But if we look at this one here, it's not, because it doesn't go through the origin. So this isn't a proportional line, but it's still a straight line. So we can still find slope. So now the tricky part here is, notice how the x is on top? That's going to be our bottom number. And the y is going to be on our top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from one point to the next. How much change is there from 0 to 2? To get from 0 to 2, I add 2. From 2 to 4, I'm adding 2. From 4 to 6, I'm adding 2. So what's my change in y? 2. Now let's go to the x's. From -1 to 0, I'm adding 1. From 0 to 1, I'm adding 1. So from 1 to 2, I'm adding 1. So my change in x is 1. So my slope is going to be 2 over 1, or 2. Now, here, where does it cross the y-intercept? Where x is 0, no. Where x is 0, this would be our y-intercept of this point. 0, 2, right? So my b is going to be 2. You guys don't have to find the b when you're looking at a table. I'm just looking for slope, but in case you wanted to write your equation, now we have y equals 2x plus 2. Okay? Now, all I'm looking for when you're talking about a table is, can you find your slope? So let's do some more examples. All right. What I want you to do is always write this ratio in, y over x. Okay? Once you write that, then you know, hey, I need to find the y's on top and the x's on bottom. So what's my change in y? How do I get from 20 to 16? Well, I'm subtracting. I'm going down 4. How do I go from 6 to 8? 16 to 8? I'm going down 8. How do I go from 8 to 4? I'm going down 4. Now, don't freak out because those are different. I'll talk about that in a bit. Now we're going to go to my x. Here I have from 3 to 6, I'm going down 3. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not going down 3. I'm going up 3. From 6 to 12, I'm going up 6. From 12 to 15, I'm going up 3. So notice how these are the same and these are the same. So if I were to rate my ratios, I have -4 over 3, right? But what about this guy here with the -8 and the 6? Well, let's put that into our ratio of y over x. Can't I simplify that down, divide by 2, and I get 4 over 3? So my slope is always, in this case, is -4/3. All right. So we have our change in y over our change in x. And a lot of times you'll see this written with a triangle in front of it because that stands for change in. My y is on the bottom in this table. So I need to check here what am I doing? From 0 to 2, I'm adding 2. From 2 to 4, I'm adding 2. So my change in y is 2. My x, what am I doing? To go from -1 to 0, I'm adding 1. From 0 to 1, I'm adding 1. So my slope is 2. Say I were to graph this on a table. And I'm going to graph, I have -1, 0. I also have 0, 2, 1, 4. So I'm just plotting the points that are in the table. And 2, 6. So that's what my line looks like right there. And notice, and we already did this one, but this is my line here. Notice how it's going through 2. So my equation for this is y equals 2x plus 2. And we found that 2 right here. All right. This one is the table again. You guys remember how we talked about how we're doing our change in y over our change in x? So from 20 to 16, I'm going down 4. From 3 to 6, I'm going up 3. So I'm counting on my fingers. How many am I doing? 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 20 to 16. Okay. I go the other way. So I go 16 to get from 20 to 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. That's 4. So my slope is -4/3. So if I were to plot these, now these I can't really plot on this graph, right? Because it only goes to 6s. So I can't plot this. But could I kind of have an idea of what this would be? Because I don't know exactly where. Oh, I could do 4, but it's all the way up to 15. But I know my line is going to be a negative. I know my line is going to be, so I can plot my slope. It's just not going to be the exact line because I don't have this. So my slope has to go down. It's going down because it's a negative. So say I were to, let's see, start here. I need to go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 3, 1, 2, 3. And so my slope of the line would look like that. Okay, this is not the line of this table because my ratios are off. The scale of my table is off. All right, so take a picture of your notes and submit it under lesson 19, Monday. Okay, and I will see you at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, please. I'd love to see you. We're going to play a game first, so bye. This is the end of the game, the video. I'm just going to talk a little bit. I hate the lighting here. It makes me look very ghoulish. I don't know if it worked my joke with maybe for my next video, I need to be like, hey, hey, peekaboo. So Eva's really enjoying peekaboo and Jude is too.